like for the people that would want to know what your experience was like with just the whole process of the metabolic typing, like when you encountered it, what did it do to you? Like, what did you think of it at first?
Well, when I first encountered metabolic typing, what really surprised me was, one, my commitment to doing it right away and getting all of the foods together and things like that. The thing I most remember is not feeling deprived in terms of I really liked the foods that were my options, but also how absolutely ravenously hungry I was for about the first 3 weeks. It was almost as if my body had needed nutrients for so long and wasn't being fed well or appropriately for my metabolic type, and I just needed to eat until there was a baseline of nutrients established, and then it slowly weaned itself off. But that first week, I ate more steak in that first week than I can possibly remember ever before, and loving every minute of it.
Yeah, the thing was, of course, for you, because you're the parasympathetic, the ravenous hunger, that's actually part of the deal. Like if you're overly parasympathetic, that's what happens. So yeah, we needed to find the happy medium between the proteins and the carbs.
Well, and the other piece that was really, that took me the longest was to let go of worrying about fat content.
Right, the education or miseducation, right?
Absolutely, because so much of the food that I am supposed to eat is high fat creams, high fat cheeses, high fat meats, and to eat an unlimited supply of them until you're not hungry and you are satisfied. And as a woman in North America, you are raised from the earliest time you're taught about food, you are taught to deny yourself fat, and you're taught
go low fat,
go
right?
low fat, and I was always hungry. And then the other piece that I now recognize and did fairly quickly into it is anytime I was craving sugar, it really meant that I needed something with purine in it, and if that I had a piece of meat or if I had a vegetable that had the higher purine count, or if I had that vegetable with fat mixed with it, it instantly took away my sugar cravings. And so I could easily let go of white flour and sugar because I wasn't craving those. I wasn't on that up and down roller coaster.
Awesome. So what did it do to your body?
Well, over about a 10-month period, actually a little bit shorter, over about 6 months, I lost 23 pounds. And
wow, let me see. Yeah, you're looking healthy, right?
Thank you. And what's so interesting to me about that is, one, I wasn't trying to lose weight. I was trying to make sure that I raised my odds of not having another cancer diagnosis. But I've also been this weight before, but I have never been this size before. I am smaller than I've ever been, and my body is very different in how it's, where the weight and the fat is distributed, because there's no, along with having metabolic typing, as I chose foods that were organic, and so there's very little chemicals going into my body, and I'm just truly amazed what a change that makes. And now I actually kind of know what my body structure was supposed to look like, but never really was.
Yeah. So the supplements that you've been taking, how does that affect you now? Like,
well, I did my research on the supplements. I take 3 supplements, and Martin, you probably know the names of them better than I do offhand right now.
Doesn't matter.
But what I have found they've done is I have a new, between the supplements and the metabolic and the organic living and taking out processed food, it's hard for me to delineate which ones did which for me, but collectively and together, I am in the best health of my life. I have never been in better physical health. And what is so interesting to me is I never really bought into the theory that having a clean body would clean up your emotional self as well. But many, many issues that I have worked on throughout the years and had made significant progress on really came to light through this experience, and I felt more equipped and stable to take it to a deeper level of emotional healing. And I really attribute that to the supplements and to the whole process that I went through. And the most interesting thing is I was not looking for proof that any of this worked. I knew that no matter what, reducing sugar, eating organic, taking supplements could only be a benefit. There was not going to be any negative side effects from not putting toxins in my body. So I recognized that that would be it. And so I didn't really need proof that the cancer was being addressed on a cleansing level. But I want to show people this. On my left hand, right here, I used to, and you can mark that you, oh, sorry.
It's okay, I'll bring it in.
On my left hand, right here, and you may be able to see, Martin, there's a small, right there, there's a small indent.
Yep.
For about 15, 16 years, I had had a raised scar tissue there, a bump, a small pink bump, probably half the size of this pinky nail. And I had gotten it through just actually an appliance, just banging it back and forth repetitively on a washing machine, the way the washing machine opened and closed. And skin cell tissues had built up and were scarring. And I went to my doctor, and she said, well, the only way you can get rid of that is with plastic surgery. And it sometimes bothered me if it got hit, but, you know, I kind of forgot about it. And my 13-year-old son pointed out about 2 months ago, he said, Mom, where is your scar? And it's not there anymore. And I attribute that primarily to the supplements. And I realized cancer is nothing but tissue gone awry. And this was scar tissue that had gone awry. And the supplements took care of it, and it's gone. So what it must be doing internally to any cancer cells that are growing, if it can do this externally, it must be able to do this internally. And so I wasn't looking for a sign, but I definitely took that as a sign.
It's awesome. Could you tell me about this thing on your hand? This thing?
This is actually my wedding band. I'm married to an amazing man, and it is an ancient Japanese character that's not used anymore. That means, it's pronounced en, and it means basically that you are connected to one another wherever you are in the universe. So whether or not you are far away from each other or close, whether you are emotionally feeling connected or not, you are always connected, and it doesn't matter about what you're feeling or where you are, but it is about the interconnectedness of humanity.